Brett listens to Jack and Devontae's talk with Derek and notes that even though he and Derek may trust each other, there is only a 40% chance that all three boys will survive the night. Devontae hopes Amanda will save him, but as a backup plan, he approaches Catherine to get her promise that she will pick him. Shortly after, when Jack approaches her, she tells him bluntly that even though she said she wouldn't gun for him, she has already promised Devontae. Jack understands that he shouldn't have created enemies sooner while defending his people. This is due to the fact that his people will support him until they force him to take the lead. When he tells McLean what's going on, he asks her to stand up for them and assures her that he will see her after the concert if he has to leave. Everyone realizes that their actions have consequences, Derek says as the saving ceremony draws near. Jack acknowledges that everything depends on Amanda tonight, but Catherine is anxious since she doesn't know who is choosing whom and doesn't want to be the one to go home. After tonight, the lawyer must make a decision on the game's future, which makes her feel horrible as well. Derek goes forward to stand next to Joel when they arrive at the snake pit and hopes that everyone keeps their commitment. Additionally, he states that everyone will turn against him if something goes wrong. In accordance with the plan, John chooses Christine, but he decides to save him. Noting that Amanda had rescued her from the snake pit the week before, she chooses her. Despite the fact that a number of relationships have been made, Amanda says she can already feel the strain and that things will get harder from this point on in the competition. She continues by saying that she has spent the entire day considering her options and has decided to go with this individual since he has been kind to her from the beginning. Devontae is stunned when she chooses Frank over him, despite his growing optimism that their connection can save him. She admits in her confessional that she has been pretending to be Devontae for a long time since she is in a relationship at home. Although she says he can't manage her in the real world, she likes him as a buddy. After that, Alyssa is chosen by Frank, and she saves Catherine. It's difficult to pick between 5 individuals she loves and respects, she says, adding that she must constantly consider the wider picture and give priority to what would benefit her in the long run. The boys' alliance is shattered by a shocking betrayal that removes Devontae. Devontae notes that Derek's plan could be ruined and Brett, Jack, and Derek could be saved if Catherine makes the correct decision. In the end, she saves Jordan and admits in her confessional that this has been her plan even though the lads don't believe she can ever betray them. Her goal was to destroy their close alliance. Jack remarks that everyone is only thinking about themselves as a result of this choice, and that Catherine's betrayal hurts the most because she failed to save either of the boys. Jack has defended her numerous times, and she might be the reason he returns home, so McLean feels awful as the chain continues. Jordan chooses to save her even though she ought to be the one returning home. Jack is thrilled because he thinks he is safe because of their friendship. As anticipated, she selects Jack, dropping Brett and Devontae to the bottom 2. Joel warns the snake that the person he kills can affect the game later, before Derek decides who to save. Additionally, Catherine begs him to keep in mind Devon's goodness. Then Devontae tells Catherine that she didn't pick him after he had twice chosen her first. He claims that although he has always stood by those he has promised to, he is a little let down by Amanda's decision to support the person in charge. When Brett is asked to defend himself, he says that he has always been honest with Derek and that they were split up before they had a chance to get to know one another. "I respect whatever Derek decides to do," he says. The snake declares that Brett and Devontae have both been wonderful individuals. Derek notes that despite being the house's strongest athlete, Brett is unable to decide whether to save Devontae. In the hopes that their connection will advance, he declares that he saves the former. He also tells Devontae that he didn't choose him and that it upset him when he shook his hand. When Brett is asked to defend himself, he says that he has always been honest with Derek and that they were split up before they had a chance to get to know one another. "I respect whatever Derek decides to do," he says. The snake declares that Brett and Devontae have both been wonderful individuals. Derek notes that despite being the house's strongest athlete, Brett is unable to decide whether to save Devontae. In the hopes that their connection will advance, he declares that he saves the former. He also tells Devontae that he didn't choose him and that it upset him when he shook his hand. The competitor states before departing that he decided to lie to Derek in order to save Brett, but it eventually cost him. The detective also stole his part, and he admits in his leave interview that he betrayed Derek. He feels like Catherine let him down, and that is why he is devastated. In a similar vein, Catherine says she believes Jack and Brett will fight with her because the lads are no longer together. She must therefore figure out how to handle those tense relationships as effectively as she can.